All right, I'm starting to hack my Audio Buddy. This is one of the reasons that I bought it. I'm going to leave channel 2 alone, and then I'm going to hack channel 1, and I can compare the two. So what is it that I'm doing? We saw, let's see, let me move this out of the way for a second. Let's get some paper over here. We saw the Audio Buddy circuitry just use a differential amplifier. It's not even really an instrumentation amplifier, it's just a diff amplifier. So simple configuration. And then it has a fixed gain of 100, and then it feeds it into an output driver, and that has gain. So when you turn the knob on the front, you're changing the gain of the secondary stage, not the primary stage. Which seems kind of strange. Seems like you'd want to put all the gain up front. But anyway, that's the way it works. So what I want to do is I want to remove just this part of the circuit. I'm going to leave the connector. I'm going to leave the phantom power. I'm going to leave these two capacitors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie in right where these 1K resistors are. I'm going to tie in right here, right here. I'm going to remove all of this and replace it with my own circuit, and then I'm going to tie it here where pin 1 used to be. And so I'm going to take the inputs and take the output and replace basically these 3 pins, right? And everything in between. And so the circuit that I'm interested in, I found while searching around, and I believe it originated with this company, or actually that company. It's That Corporation. Very strange. I'm not sure who That Corporation is. They seem to be in Massachusetts. I'm not sure what they do, but they built some ICs, obviously. And so they built a low noise, high performance audio preamplifier IC. Well, that sounds just great. Low noise, 1 nanovolt per hertz input noise, low harmonic distortion, 0.001%, low current, yada, yada, yada. It's got all kinds of cool stuff here. So it looks more like a differential amplifier, sort of, maybe instrumentation. It's got 2 amplifiers in the front, but it's got discrete buffers in the front. So this current source is down here. These feedback around to the input, so it's, and then you put your gain resistor here, so it's kind of an instrumentation amplifier-ish. So I guess it is. It just it just looks a little bit funny when they do that to it. So the next circuit that I saw was this one. So this was drawn by somebody, I don't know who, but it's a preamp. It's an XLR in, XLR out, so it's a preamplifier. And it's got phantom power on the input. It's got some interesting protection things, or noise leveling things. It's got some inductors on the front, which I kind of like. Here are these capacitors that I'm tying into. And then the circuit in the middle, it's got some protection diodes so you don't over voltage the thing. It's got a bunch of capacitors that I'm not quite sure what they all do, but it looks like maybe they're rolling off some frequencies or something. But the thing that struck me was these 2 chips. This chip, definitely instrumentation amplifier, a separate feedback resistor. And it says SSM 2017, or a that 1220. So we just looked at 1512. So we just looked at the 1512 data sheet. But it points us to this other chip, the SSM 2015, so maybe that's a replacement for this old chip or an upgrade or something like that. And then it goes into a line driver, a plus-minus line driver, which is an interesting chip as well. Anyway, so this one got me interested. So I thought, okay, let me look at this SSM part. And so I found Analog Devices makes the SSM part, and it is obsolete. So I don't know why they discontinued this chip, but it's no longer around. But it looked really nice too. And Analog Devices is a company I recognize. So there's another chip that Analog Devices makes, which is the SSM 2019. And once again, it kind of looks kind of like that other chip. It's basically an audio preamplifier as well, so maybe this was, the other one didn't work very good, and they made another one. I saw some other circuits. Let's see, this one uses the SSM 2019 part. This looks very much like an Audio Buddy schematic. Plus or minus 15 power supply, fixed gain for the preamp, and then it goes into an output driver which has the gain on it, so very much Audio Buddy-like. And then there's an actual instrumentation instrument input as well. So you have the microphone input and the instrument input. So like I said, very much Audio Buddy-like. And then I found this chip, which is the Texas Instrument INA217. And I see a lot of these circuits around, so this must be kind of like the modern part. This says revised in 2015, so it's certainly a part they're looking at. So the INA217 has great specs. Noise 1.3 nanovolt per root hertz. Low total harmonic distortion 0.004% at 1 kilohertz with a gain of 100. That's really impressive. Wide bandwidth. Doesn't need to go up very high because it's audio frequencies. The common mode rejection is greater than 100 decibels. This looks just like the perfect chip to be using. Professional microphone preamps. Moving coil transistor amplifier. So if you know anything about microphones, there's basically the condenser microphones and moving coil microphones. So like a Shure SM57, Shure SM58. They're basically a speaker in reverse. You talk onto a diaphragm, the diaphragm has a moving coil, the moving coil moves past a magnet, generates an electrical signal. They generally output quite small voltages, so they require larger preamplification than condenser microphones. So this would be a great part to use. So they have an app note in the data sheet here that is exactly, exactly a microphone preamp. So XLR connector on the front, phantom power, protection diodes for overvoltaging it. Then it goes into the 2117. And then there's an optional DC feedback circuit. So they monitor the output and feed it back around to pin 5, which is kind of the ground or the reference of the instrumentation amplifier. And they make sure that the output stays exactly at ground. I don't really need that in what I'm doing, so I'm just going to ground pin 5. And but this is the circuit that I'm going to use. And so back to the board. You can kind of see this kind of thing flailing over here. Well, that's the 217. So I ordered some parts off of eBay. These came from Burr Brown. So Burr Brown, this is a Texas Instrument part, but Burr Brown also made it. So I'm not sure who made it first, but I have a Burr Brown part, which is a company really known for its low noise, low current amplifiers or op amps and stuff. So what I've done is I've removed the op amp that used to sit down here. Let's point with this. There used to be an op amp here in this SIP package. I took that out, and I tied into the. Let's see. Let's go back to this one. So that's the op amp that I took out, and I'm going to tie into these 2 points here and this point here. So the 2 points where I'm getting the plus and minus signal from the XLR are these this twisted cable here. It goes onto there. These wires down here are plus 15, minus 15, and ground, and they come into my little board. I guess that's. We should take a look at that. And my little board has some filter caps for the power supplies, and this little group here is the protection diodes that schematic had. And I went ahead and put a tip ring sleeve connector here directly out of this circuit, so I can bypass the secondary amplifier if I want to. But this is the output, and I'm going to tie that back down here to pin 1 of the old where the old op amp was. So that I haven't soldered that down yet. And yeah, and then that's basically it. I'll be able to use channel 1 with the fancy one, and channel 2 is the non-fancy one, and we can look at the noise differences between the two. I'm expecting this one to have much, much lower noise. So it's going to have variable gain. So let's see. So the input to my audio buddy had instrument in and adjustable gain, and instrument in and adjustable gain, and I've replaced the instrument in with a potentiometer, 5K pot, and so now this is my new gain control for the instrumentation amp, and I'm not going to use the instrument in anyway. So didn't have to drill a hole, just pop this in. And so these wires here will go onto this board, and way down here is a connector. So there's a 2-pin header here. So I'll put a connector on these blue wires over here, and it'll go on here. So I'll be able to disconnect it and take it apart, other than soldering them down. We'll see how that works out.